Hello, little story explorers, and welcome back to Storytime Adventure. Today, we're going to visit a cozy little cottage where a very special pot of porridge is always bubbling away. Are you ready? Let's begin our adventure with the classic rhyme. Peas porridge hot, peas porridge cold, peas porridge in the pot, 9 days old. Some like it hot, some like it cold, some like it in the pot, 9 days old. Now, in that cozy little cottage, lived two sisters named Anny and Grace. Anny, with her bright, curious eyes, loved adventures. Grace, with her warm, sunny smile, loved making things for others. Their favorite thing in the whole wide world was their grandmother's special peas porridge. It wasn't just any porridge. It was made with sweet green peas, a dollop of creamy butter, and a secret sprinkle of cinnamon that made it taste like a hug in a bowl. Every morning, their grandma would sing the little song as she stirred the big, friendly pot that sat on the stove. One morning, the sun streamed through the window, waking up the sleepy village. Anny bounced out of bed, her tummy already rumbling. "Grace, wake up. It's porridge time," she called. Grace was already in the kitchen, watching Grandma stir the pot. "Ooh, it smells extra yummy today, Grandma," she said, sniffing the warm, sweet air. "That's because it's a special day," Grandma said with a twinkle in her eye. "Today is the Village Kindness Day. Everyone shares something special with their neighbors." Grace and Annie's eyes lit up. "Can we share our peas porridge?" asked Annie. "That's a wonderful idea," Grandma replied. "But our big pot is only just enough for us. If we want to share, we'll need to work together to make more." Annie was so excited she could barely stand still. "I'll get the peas, the big, juicy ones from the garden," she declared, and zoomed out the back door. She loved being the official pea picker. Grace smiled. "And I'll help measure everything and stir the pot," she offered. Grace was very careful and precise, making her the perfect stirring supervisor. So, Annie ran to the garden. She carefully picked the plumpest, greenest pea pods she could find. She remembered Grandma telling her that the best porridge comes from the best ingredients. She worked hard filling her basket to the brim. Back in the kitchen, Grace was getting everything ready. She laid out the bowls, the spoons, the butter, and the secret cinnamon shaker when Annie returned with her basket of peas. She gave her a big thumbs up. "Great job, Annie, these are perfect." Together, they shelled the peas. Pop, pop, a pop. The little green peas jumped into the bowl. It was like a tiny, fun game. Then, they added them to a brand new pot, along with water and a pinch of salt. Grandma showed Grace how to stir. "Slow and steady, my dear," she said. "Stir it with a happy heart, and the porridge will taste even better." Grace took the big wooden spoon and began to stir. Around and around she went. After a while, her arms started to get a little tired. Annie saw her slowing down. "My turn," she said, eager to help. She took the spoon and stirred with all her might. But she stirred a little too fast. Sploosh. A bit of porridge flew out and landed right on her nose. Grace giggled. "You look like a porridge." "Monster, Annie," Annie laughed too, wiping her nose. "It's harder than it looks," she admitted. They decided to take turns. Grace would stir slowly and carefully, and then Annie would take over when she needed a rest. They worked together like a perfect team. Soon, the new pot of porridge was thick, creamy, and smelled absolutely divine. "Now for the best part," said Grandma, handing Grace the butter and the cinnamon. Grace added a golden pat of butter that melted into a sunny puddle. And then she gave the cinnamon shaker a gentle puff, puff, puff. Just like Grandma taught her, their big pot of kindness porridge was ready. They carefully ladled the warm porridge into smaller bowls. They had hot porridge for those who loved it steaming, and they set some aside to cool for those who preferred it that way. "But Grandma," Annie asked, looking puzzled. "What about the part of the song that says 9 days old?" Grandma chuckled. "Ah, that's the silliest part of the rhyme, isn't it? Our porridge is fresh and delicious. The rhyme is just a fun, old song. But it teaches us that everyone likes things differently, and that's perfectly okay." With their basketful of porridge bowls, Annie and Grace set off. Their first stop was next door at Mr. Andrews' house. Mr. Andrew was an old gardener with a grumpy-looking face, but a very kind heart. "Peas porridge?" he grumbled when they offered him a bowl. "I like my porridge cold." "We have some for you," Grace said, handing him a bowl of the cooled porridge. Mr. Andrew took a spoonful. His eyebrows went up in surprise. A slow smile spread across his face. "Well, I'll be," he said. "This is the best I've ever had. Thank you." "Children." He disappeared inside and came back with a beautiful, bright red rose for each of them. Next, they visited the baker's family. The baker, Miss Esther, was always busy, and her children were playing in the yard. They loved their porridge hot, hot, hot. They ate it up so fast. They had green porridge smiles. As a thank you, Miss Esther gave them a loaf of freshly baked, crusty bread. They shared with the postman, the librarian, and even the mayor. Everyone had a preference. Some liked it hot, some liked it cold. But everyone, absolutely everyone, loved the kindness porridge made by Anny and Grace. By the end of the day, their basket was empty, but their hands were full of little gifts of flour, a loaf of bread, a shiny marble, and a handmade bookmark. More importantly, their hearts were full of joy. When they got home, tired but happy, Grandma had 3 bowls of their own peas porridge waiting on the table. As they ate, Annie looked at Grace. Sharing was the best part of all, wasn't it? Grace nodded, her smile as warm as the porridge. Yes, it made the porridge taste even better. Grandma hugged them both. "You see," she said softly, "the most important ingredient of all isn't the peas, or the butter, or even the cinnamon. The secret ingredient is always kindness. When you share what you have and work together, you make the whole world a little warmer and a little sweeter." And so, whenever Annie and Grace heard the old rhyme, they didn't just think of hot or cold porridge. They thought of their wonderful adventure on Village Kindness Day. They remembered that whether you like things hot, cold, or even 9 days old, the best way to enjoy anything is by sharing it with a friend. And that's a lesson that is always delicious, no matter how you serve it. Thank you for joining us on this wonderful story adventure. I hope you enjoyed our tale of Annie Grace and their magical peas porridge. Always remember that a little bit of kindness goes a long way. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe for more storytime fun. We can't wait to see you again for our next adventure. Bye for now.